going on YouTube, boxing fans, my likers, my dislikers, my subs, and the two people who always give me 2 thumbs down. I love y'all the most. Y'all are the reason why I do this. I have to focus on y'all the most. Anyways, let's get into it. Pound for pound best. Who do I feel right now currently is pound for pound best? I'm only making this video because I'm waiting for his addressing video of what I wrote because I already killed him once. Who am I talking about? Bruce Leroy Vane. That's right. That's who I'm talking about. So bring it, Bart. Bring it. I've already made you delete one video. So please go ahead and make a video responding to me and we can get to this. I don't think you want to. I don't think you want a small channel like mine to get that much shine and kill you like I already did when you deleted your video. Off of that. The reason why I'm making this is because this individual said I had white worship, or excuse me, to be exact, white hero worshiping. He said, I worship Lomachenko, even though it's been said on my channel 1,000 times, I say La Homo, and I don't believe he should be pound for pound best, which I'm addressing this to right now. Here we go. Lomachenko, a.k.a. Vasiliy. His record is 14-1 with 10 knockouts. He has a 67% knockout ratio. Woo! Not only has he knocked him out, but he caused 3 or 4 people in a row, I can't remember exactly, just to sit in their corner and say, no mas, we don't want no more. We can't come out. We getting our asses whooped. What are his achievements? His achievements are in his first fight, he won a lesser belt, which I don't count lesser belts, but it was the WBO featherweight international title in his first fight. In his second fight, he won the featherweight WBO fight, his second fight ever, which is unheard of that in your second fight you're already going for a major belt, but he won it. Then he goes on to win the lightweight WBC belt. Then he goes up now and he's currently got the super lightweight WBA belt and he's still got the WBO light and WBC belt. Now, he's a 3-weight division champion. Let's go to Terence Crawford before we get into this. By the way, I forgot to say, Lomachenko has been a pro for 6 years. Terence Crawford has been a pro for 11 years. He is 35-0, 26 knockouts with a 74% knockout ratio. Whoa! He knocking out more people than Lomachenko at a higher rate. I already won category for him. Terence Crawford won the light WBO just like Lomachenko. But unlike Lomachenko, he won the super lightweight WBO, WBC, IBF, and WBA titles, which made him unified. My word. It made him unified champion of the division before he moved up to welterweight, where he has also won the WBO belt. And he's trying to fight the other champions like Earl Smith, Spence, Sean Porter, but they're all running from him. They're scared, especially Spence. Spence is on his bicycle. Like they say, Mayweather used to fight like. That's what Spence is doing to avoid Crawford. Crawford is also a 3-division weight class champion. So, in my opinion, first off, what makes somebody pound for pound over other weight classes? Dominance and quality of opponents and what they have done. In my opinion, when I see Terence Crawford, although he has never made people quit in the corner like Vasiliy has, Crawford dominates people. Jeff Horn versus Manny Pacquiao. I had Manny Pacquiao winning. I didn't even have it a close fight. But when you watch what Manny Pacquiao just did to Keith Thurman, when Manny Pacquiao was fighting Jeff Horn had several times where he was the bigger, stronger guy, bodying Pacquiao, keeping him back, fighting dirty. He tried the same thing against Terence Crawford, who was stepping up in weight. And guess what? Crawford was the stronger, bigger man. Laid him out. Saw a little sheep jumping over fences, little stars going around his head. He didn't know where he was. Jeff Horn was in La La Land. Crawford more dominant, in my opinion, on how he beats these people. Not only has he been more dominant, but with dominancy comes the fact of how do you look when you're not being dominant. Vasiliy has lost already. Now, people can argue against Salido, talking about, oh, Salido was dirty. He hit him in the nuts. He hit him with elbows. He hit him with forearms. He hit him with backhands. He held him and hit him. That's cool. And I won't dispute that and I won't argue that. But let me tell you something. When somebody hits you in the nut repeatedly and you see the referee won't help you, what do? You hit them in the nuts. When they elbow you, what do? You hit them with 2 elbows. When they hit you in the thigh, you hit them in the calf. When they hit you with a backhand, you hit them with both your backhands. The point is, you get just as dirty as they're getting, which is one of the reasons why I like Dillian Whyte, assuming he doesn't get popped for these steroids. We're still waiting on that. But I digress. Back to the point at hand. Lomachenko has already lost. Now, his last fight with Luke Campbell was a landslide, in my opinion. It wasn't even close. You can look at it round by round. Vasiliy outlanded Campbell 10 rounds to 2. He hurt Campbell several times. Campbell did hurt Lomachenko, I believe, in 1 round, but that was it. And if you really want to be lenient towards Campbell, I would give him 3 to 4 rounds. If you swing rounds that he was outlanded in by Lomachenko and say because they were close rounds, he landed more power shots, you can maybe swing 3 to 4 rounds max to Luke Campbell. But that's still 8. Best case scenario, that's 8 to 4 rounds for Luke Campbell. That's not a close fight. That's a landslide. Then, if you remember correctly, in that fight, Lomo had Campbell damn near knocked out, and he just quit hitting him like you felt bad for him. I don't know what was going on. He just backed off of him. So, I don't know what was going on with that, but with that being said, we have seen Lomo show signs of being vulnerable. Now, analysis are coming out with the Campbell fight. That's why I brought it up, talking about, oh yeah, we see ways to beat him. If you're taller than him, longer than him, he has problems getting in, even though he majorly outlanded Campbell. Whatever. Critics are going to be critics. The bottom line is this. Terence Crawford has never looked that vulnerable to me. And if he has, please let me know in the comment section. But what I see from Crawford is somebody who goes in there and methodically breaks people down. And when he switches to southpaw, it gets ugly. It gets so ugly. Oh, man, it gets ugly. He's better in soft than he is traditional, but he likes starting in traditional. So, the dominance goes to Terence Crawford. Even when they're down, Terence Crawford has never looked down as much as Vasiliy has, and he's never lost like Vasiliy has. Dominance. Quality of opponents. Now, this is something that you can say Vasiliy Lomachenko has had better quality of opposition because he started with hard opposition, whereas Terence Crawford had a cushioned come up. But you can't really go with that argument because Lomo has yet to become the unified champion of any weight class that he's been in. Unified is the correct word. It's an inside joke. People that know me, people that sell to me, they'll get it. If you're new here, just look back. You'll understand. But Lomachenko has yet to do this. So therefore, he loses to quality of opposition, in my opinion. If you look at their back to dominance, how many knockouts they've had, their knockout ratios. Terence Crawford has a higher ratio of knockouts with a lot more fights. He's got more knockouts than Lomachenko has fights. And the thing about it is, the longer you box, the more your body gets wear and tear. You're slowly getting worse. Even though it looks like you're hitting your peak, eventually you start to come off that peak. And to maintain knockouts is something that may not happen. So with Luke Campbell, for example, we don't know if Lomachenko can keep knocking guys out at his age. He might have got his threshold of no losses. We won't know till his career continues. It's still young. 15 fights is not a lot. So, like I said, Lomachenko has yet to unify a division. He's already lost. And from the looks of it, I'm going to put this out there too. I believe, and I've had this argument about Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people say, oh, he stopped taking steroids, he stopped taking steroids, he stopped taking steroids. I had to repeat that because it's just repetitive. That's why he's not knocking people out anymore. That's why he hasn't been knocking people out. And I say bullshit to that. Manny Pacquiao is a little man. He was knocking people out till he got to welterweight. I want anybody right now to challenge me on this. I already won one debate about this. Manny Pacquiao has not had the knockout since he went to welterweight. After he left 142 to jump up to the 147 weight class, he has not been dominant. It's nothing to do with steroids. He hit his limit. And I talk about this all the time, and I'm going to come to the point in just a second. When guys move up in weight, especially dominant knockout artists who are just running through people, more times than not, you see them get to a certain point and they're just ineffective with their power. The bigger guys who are used to fighting bigger guys are absorbing punches that you've never seen absorbed when this person throws a punch. And then people like to say, oh, he's got a hell of a chin. No, it's not that the person he's fighting's got a hell of a chin. It's that he's not hitting as hard as what the guys used to be hitting as hard as. So this guy who looks super dominant has now met his threshold because his body is not used to being that big. He is not stabilized and he's not as powerful as the guys of that size. The reason why I bring that up is we're now seeing Lomachenko taking damage, not being able to output as much damage as he's been doing. And the reason for this, I believe, is, and Bob Arum brought this up too. Bob Arum does not want him to leave super lightweight. He's got him going lightweight and featherweight again. He's got him going backwards or staying stagnant instead of up. Lomachenko, to me, has met his threshold. I do not believe he'll be able to move up to welterweight, because if he does, you are going to see guys being able to walk through his punches. And the matrix is not going to matter. It's not going to matter how good he can dodge, because if he can't hurt these guys who are top tier fighters, they're going to walk through him like Canelo. They're going to get him against the rope, and then they're going to batter him. Already you're seeing his face is showing signs of damage. Luke Campbell had him swollen up. And there's other fights where he's been swollen too. The point is, his body, I think, is at its maximum. I do not see Lomachenko. If he does go higher, he will not go too up. He's got one more possibly weight class in him. Whereas the flip side, the point of this is Terence Crawford is still being a dominant force in welterweight, which is also his third division. So how it looks at this moment, Terence Crawford might be able to go up to middleweight, junior middleweight to be exact, super welterweight. Terence Crawford is still strong, stronger than the welterweights he's fighting. He's dominating these welterweights like Lomachenko was dominating the lightweights and featherweights. The difference is Lomachenko looks like he's hitting his weight cap, whereas Terence Crawford looks like he's just getting older and stronger with his age. So longevity, not to mention Crawford is younger, but longevity, I see Crawford, as long as he can beat Earl Spence, as long as he can beat a Sean Porter, a Manny Pacquiao, which might happen, as long as Crawford continues on the route he's going, I don't see him stopping in welterweight. I see him going up in weight because he can, because he's strong enough to do it. So these are the reasons why I feel Terence Crawford is the pound for pound best right now. Automatically in my mind, if a guy who has, because they have similar stats, it's just Lomachenko has done it faster. I would give him credit to that. He has accelerated through the ranks. He has done everything Crawford has done besides unified faster than Crawford did. But here's the issue. When you have two guys who had the same stats. One may be taking longer, one may be taking less. You have to look at what separates them. And that loss, to me, automatically says Lomo is not pound for pound better than Crawford. He's not. And if Crawford continues to win and never lose, and Vasiliy continues to win and never lose, in my mind, as long as Crawford never gets an L, there's no argument to be had. Because at the end of the day, Crawford has not lost and Lomachenko has. And at the moment, Crawford's done more by unifying a division, whereas Lomachenko is trying to do that now. So that's how I see it. That's how I break it down. I might make a video on racism in boxing, which I normally don't talk about, but I found it hilarious when Bruce Leroy told me I was white hero worshiping. Never heard such a thing. And what's even funnier about that is, I even said in the beginning, I don't even like Lomachenko, but he dominated Luke Campbell, and he did. He did. There's no real argument. You want to listen to Tim Bradley or Andre Ward, who have always spoken bad about Lomachenko, then be my guest. Listen to them. They don't like him. For some reason, Andre Ward sees him as some type of competition, even though Andre Ward's not even boxing anymore. So it is what it is. You take it for what it's worth. Lomachenko is not a bad fighter. Currently, I would have him in the top 3 pound for pound, but I would never put anybody above Terence Crawford at this moment. That's how I see it. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope all the pictures in the background didn't make you dizzy. Y'all have a good day and be safe with this hurricane coming.